You are watching the Sunday motivational video. 15 things successful people do in their 20s. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, it's so great to have you back with us for another exciting Sunday video, especially since some of you fit this demographic perfectly or are close enough to reap its full benefits. You always hear about the success, the award, the IPOs, about the mysterious founder who made it against all odds. But what you don't hear about is the early days, the small things they did differently for years before they got that initial traction. We like to say the best time to start was yesterday. The second best is today. It's the small choices you make every single day right now that will dramatically alter what your life ends up becoming. Pay close attention because this video could just be the wake-up call you need. That's the main reason why today we're taking a look at the 15 things successful people do in their 20s that make them rich later in life. Number 1. Extreme determination to succeed. No, you don't understand. Success is the one and only priority. Not only do you have a burning desire to crush it at life, but every action you take is through the lens of success. The odds of you winning this race are so slim that only those who are constantly bringing their A game will manage to break through. Without this determination to succeed, you'll get sidetracked, you'll be unsure, you won't know which direction to go. All of this builds willpower, an internal strength that will allow you to overcome hardships and keep pushing when everyone else would have quit. If this requires you to work 2 jobs and sleep less than 6 hours a night, then that's what you have to do. If there's even the smallest hint in the back of your mind that you could possibly do something else, then you're probably going to fail. A water dam erodes from the smallest cracks in its structure. It's never the strong points that break down. Whether or not you're going to make it rests on your shoulders. Number 2. Sacrifice. Everything in life has a price, and success is quite expensive. In your 20s, you trade in your social life for hours upon hours of trial and error. You barely see your friends, if you see them at all. You're not out there partying and getting drunk. Most likely in your early 20s, there's little to no room for an emotional life because making this leap does require your all. This type of success you dream of doesn't come from a side hustle or from something you do part-time. These people you look up to, they sacrificed way more than you think. Most of them lived way below their means. That's where the ramen noodle phase in every successful entrepreneur's life comes from. You're sacrificing time, relationships, and almost all of your money for this greater goal that might not even become a reality because you would rather play to win than be satisfied with mediocrity. Number 3. Save every penny. For the first 5 years, every single penny goes right back into the project, so there's not much left anyway. But after that, the business should pick up momentum and you should see a decent flow of money coming in. This is where some people fail in their journey. They buy a fancy car, a fancy watch, move into a fancier apartment and think they've made it, when in reality, this is just the early phase of their financial collapse. If you're in your late 20s and money is already coming in, save all of it. Keep living like you're poor and take the money and invest it in anything that you understand well enough for your money to keep growing over time. These investments are what will make you wealthy in the long run, not that semi-successful business that you're operating. Number 4. Avoid bad debt at any cost. Bad debt is the enemy of success. You know why? Because it has a particular power to weigh you down. You can no longer fly toward the sky if you've got a pile of debt chained to your feet. You can't even run with it. Debt keeps you where you are until you rid yourself of it. That's why debt was designed in the first place. It keeps employees and the population docile. It limits creativity, it limits your ability to take risks, and it's always floating above your head like a dark cloud. If you're looking to be successful in your early 30s, this will require incredible financial discipline for you to rid yourself of debt and make those investments we spoke about earlier. Number 5. Read as much as possible. This might sound like a cliche, but cliches come from truth. The more you read, the more you earn. For $20 and a couple of days, you get to absorb the knowledge someone accumulated in their entire professional and personal life. This is the greatest arbitrage the world has ever seen, and most people are simply unaware of just how valuable it is. You are literally learning from the best people in the world, how they did it, what their mistakes were, and how to think about life, for pennies on the dollar. It would cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars to even get in the same room with some of these people, and you can simply buy that wisdom with the price of a movie ticket. Top CEOs read over 50 books per year, while the average person barely reads 1.5. This is why top CEOs earn 100 times more than the average person. If you're looking for something to do in your 20s that has the largest long-term upswing, read a lot, okay? These days, you can even listen to these people tell their stories, interviews, audiobooks, podcasts. Knowledge is available everywhere. You're literally getting free knowledge, but how many of you really take advantage of all these resources you have at your disposal? In order to get the mindset right and committed to this journey, we're recommending 2 books: Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. If you go to Alux.com/freebook, you can get one of them for free if it's your first time. Number 6. Put yourself out there and take risks. If you've got any shot at making it in the next 10 to 20 years, it all comes back to your ability to embrace risk and make the leap. Unless you're willing to push yourself into what you find uncomfortable, you'll not be able to grow. Your ability to learn and adapt is what's going to make you rich and successful. But in order for them to kick in, you need to be in a different space than you are now. Growth comes from effort, and effort exists outside of what you already know and dominate. You've seen this quote shared by everyone on Facebook, back when sharing quotes was a thing you did casually. But the truth is, if you want something that you don't have, you need to do things you're not already doing. It isn't rocket science. Number 7. Find what you're good at. Almost every successful person out there went all in on their strengths and passions. Most people have no idea what they're good at, who they are, and what brings them satisfaction in life, thus chaining themselves to a life of mediocrity. Your goal is to figure these things out as early as possible in life. High school would have been a great place to do so, but they're too busy teaching you about every river and every cell that makes up a leaf to have time for this. So naturally, you have to figure it out yourself. How do you do that? You try a bunch of things. Trial and error is truly the key. The more things you try, the more you start to gauge where you fall and what you need to go toward. If you find what you're good at, even if you don't hit it big, at least you'll be happy that you're not slowly dying inside a cubicle, doing work you hate for people who don't even like you that much. Number 8. Make connections. Connections are like those boosts in video games. They help you move through levels quicker. If you're in your 20s, this is the perfect time to connect. Why? Because other successful people are more or less in the same segment of their journey as you are. Of course, not everyone you'll meet will make it, but those of you who do will have a different appreciation for each other and be more willing to help each other out. In this process, you'll learn the art of building relationships, of gaining other people's trust, and leveraging your connections for growth. Here's something to think about. The richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. When you finally understand the power a personal network can bring to your life, you're finally successful. Number 9. Learn to manage time. Your 20s are so chaotic, you're forced to learn time management. That is, of course, if you're serious about making it and not wasting your time on trivial activities. The sooner you learn the value of time, the sooner you'll be able to take yours more seriously. Don't let others rob you of your time, for this quote is true. Time is more valuable than money because time is a currency multiplier. What that means is time isn't worth the same for everyone. The more valuable you are as a person to the marketplace, the more your time is worth. This is a rookie mistake early entrepreneurs make. They believe their time is worth as much as everyone else's. Only after you learn to manage yours, you begin to understand how much each hour of your life is truly worth. Number 10. They build lifelong skills. Skills are an investment in yourself that accrues both interest and appreciates in value as time goes on. Imagine learning one skill in your 20s and then monetizing on it for the rest of your life. How epic is that? Well, that's exactly what successful people do early on in their careers. They learn as many valuable skills as they can and then focus on the few that provide them the highest return. Statistically speaking, the most valuable skills you can install in your personal software are self-discipline and the ability to self-motivate, sales and marketing, and emotional intelligence and the ability to control your emotions. Through this combination, you can continuously learn new skills and market them in exchange for value from the marketplace without breaking your soul due to the stress of everyday life. They're all incredibly important, so much so we spent the last year developing our premium product, Mind Mastery, that focuses solely on learning to meditate, developing your EQ, and taking control of your emotions. It's a 21-day challenge, and depending on when you're watching this video, you might be able to purchase it. Go to Alux.com/mindmastery and see if there's a reward waiting for you. Number 11. Build productive habits. Skills accelerate the growth process, while habits are the fuel that keeps the engine running day in, day out. They act like compounded interest that, when allowed to take effect for extended periods of time, lead to incredible results. Always remember that success is the sum of small actions repeated daily. In the past decade, people figured out that they can massively alter their lives if they change their daily habits. There are 2 books we recommend on this topic for those of you interested in building better ones: Atomic Habits by James Clear and The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Of course, you could always go to Alux.com/freebook, and when you sign up, you'll get one of these audiobooks for free, courtesy of Audible. Number 12. Find the right life partner. This is a controversial one because most people would tend to get married later on in their lives. So why include this here? Statistically speaking, if you're in your 20s, you've already met the person you're going to marry. It's in very fringe cases where at the lovely age of 37 you meet someone completely new and grow to marry each other. The downside is you're very likely to get divorced and lose half of your stuff in the process because the business is eating too much of your life and you didn't take the time to develop yourself emotionally in order to successfully manage both the personal and professional life. Successful people take this opportunity to find a solid partner whose goals are aligned with theirs, so they're both going through the same journey, supporting each other in the process. Identifying the right partner in your 20s or even 30s is a massive boost in the likelihood of a successful life. Number 13. Work in sales. We touched a bit on sales and marketing when we were talking about skills that pay off for a lifetime. What we found when researching successful young entrepreneurs is they understand their customers and they know how to sell their product or service to them. Having experience in selling helps you to be comfortable around people and pushes you to verbalize what you need from them. All your life, you'll be selling people on yourself. Your ideas, your business, your goals, everything you'll do successfully depends on you convincing someone else or even yourself that this is the right call. No matter how tough times get in your business, if you're able to sell, you're going to be okay. Number 14. Start a business. You want that big financial reward later in life? Start a business now and learn what it takes to grow it in the following decade. Even if the business fails, the lessons you learn from the process elevate your way of thinking by such a substantial degree that your likelihood of living a successful life increases. Yes, you have a small shot at turning it into a massive success, but if you don't start, your chances are 0. Do the math and see which bet you would rather make. One of the biggest advantages of starting a business is it teaches you to think systematically. You're not thinking about the business as a whole, about the steps that need to happen from creation to getting paid. Solving all these puzzles requires a lot of hard work, and if you do manage to best them, you're left with valuable life skills which you can deploy in all aspects of your life. Number 15. Find a mentor. The last item on our list of things successful people do in their 20s is finding guidance. Someone who cares about your success so much that they're willing to give you some of their time and know-how in order to make sure you get to the finish line. You'll have multiple mentors in your life. First, your parents, and then later on, people who have mastered different aspects that interest you in your life, from health, relationships, and business. We know how hard finding a mentor can be. When we created this Sunday motivational series, we did it as an act of digital mentorship for as many people as possible. You're already here watching these videos, so it might be the right time to find an in-person mentor to take your journey to the next level. We'll always be here for you, but someone who cares for your needs specifically can be that extra push you're looking for. And just to keep things interesting around here, we're curious to know, how old are you? Please answer in the comments section and we'll be sure to say hi if you do. And of course, as a thank you for watching this video until the end, we have a bonus. Number 16. Fail. A lot. Nobody wants to hear about how they're going to fail, but it's the truth. Unless you're one of those incredibly lucky people for whom entire planets align themselves and you get massive wins the first time you try, you're going to have to pull yourself up and start over. When we talk about failure in your 20s, you've still got plenty of years ahead of you to use what you learned to make it. In your 20s, failure means you're gaining experience. Earn enough XP and you're moving forward in the game of life. Failure teaches you things you don't learn from success. This is a unique competitive advantage you have right now, where you can fail and still win the game. This is not something a 45-year-old with 2 kids and a mortgage can afford to do. This is your golden ticket, which, if used correctly, will bring you to the life you're looking for. The goal should always be to win, even if it means failing 6 or 7 times before you do. Some of you might win after only 1 or 2 failures if you're more disciplined and learn quicker, but failure is a part of the process. You might fail at 1 round, but you have the luxury to try again until you beat it. Your goal isn't to win the small stuff. You're here to win the big game we call life. If you're ready to win it, please write "Win Big" in the comments of this video so we know who the true Aluxers watching the video until the end are. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button because apparently it helps the channel, and we appreciate you for taking the time to invest in yourself today. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos for you to watch next. As always, the conversation continues on social media. Thanks again, and we can't wait to have you back tomorrow.